which is always wonderful to be here. I'm Reverend Carol Freeland, and I'm going to explain to you how I fit into this family in many different ways. And this is my husband, Dave Freeland. He's a retired United Methodist pastor. I am currently pastoring in Clio, Michigan, and in Millington, Michigan. I have two churches on Sunday morning. I met Helen first, actually back in 2004 when my ex-husband was a pastor in Brown City, and Helen and I were on the same United Methodist district back to the Blue Water days, and we were involved in United Methodist Women together, and that's how I first met Helen. Then we came to Macon, my ex-husband and I, and whenever Helen came to visit the family here, she would go to Macon Church because she was United Methodist, and that's how I met her again. And then I also met Kathy because Kathy was going to that church and eventually became a member just before she died. And then I was asked to fill in at Tipton Community Congregational Church for 2 weeks, and I ended up there 16 months, and I met Norma and her family, and I have had some wonderful ties with this family. Cynthia and I have been very close for a long time. When I first became a pastor in 2014 and was in the Upper Peninsula, she would come up there to work, and she came and stayed with me for a couple of times and spent a night or two with me, and we just had wonderful visits. And I was blessed to marry Sally and Carl almost 4 years ago, and right here at the farm. And it was a beautiful wedding. I was telling my husband on the way here, we sat on hay bales outside, and the barn was just gorgeous that day, and it was just a beautiful day and a wonderful wedding. And so I thank the family for inviting me to come. When I say Helen, you will find me many times during this service calling her Aunt Helen, because I always called her Aunt Helen. I just loved her, adored her. She came from Port Huron. My husband and I just got married 3 years ago in January, and she came to our Mayville reception from Port Huron and came to see us. And I just loved Helen, and we'd talk on the phone for hours. And Cynthia and Helen and I spent a lot of time, and Norma too, sitting by Kathy's bedside when she was dying. And it was such a delight to spend time with them. And so I am blessed to be here today, and that it all worked out for me to be here to celebrate the life of Helen Marie Jewell. And I'm going to tell you what a jewel she was, but you all know that. So let me get started with our words this afternoon. Hear these words: that dying Christ destroyed our death, rising Christ restored our life. Christ will come again in glory. As in baptism, Helen put on Christ. So in Christ may Helen be clothed with glory. Here and now, dear friends, we are God's children. What we shall be has not yet been revealed. But we know that when he appears, we shall be like him. For we shall see him as he is. Those who have this hope purify themselves as Christ is pure. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, yet shall they live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. I died, and behold, I am alive forevermore. And I hold the keys of hell and death. Because I live, you shall live also.
Talks fairly close to each other. I had a sister, Dorothy, that lived right north of here. And then Helen lived in Port Huron, but she made a lot of trips down here. And at the end of her being up there, we made a lot of trips up there, so we did get together. Helen worked at the hospital in Tecumseh as a housekeeper at that time, I think. I don't know what. She's the one that got me into the hospital in Tecumseh, and I was there 42 years. But then Helen moved to Port Huron with the Balon family that's here at this table. And did you say 10 years she lived?
With Mom and Dad, and then my brother for another 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she said she was in that apartment for 50 years. Does that all calculate out?
I think so, but don't, I've got gray hair too.
Okay. Join us all then. Anyway, she was a collector. And she collected a lot of things. But one thing she collected were these Hallmark ornaments over here and on the table. And Cynthia asked her one day, what do you want done with all this stuff? And she said, I want it laid out, and I want people to go through and take what they want. So we're doing what she wants. Tomorrow we'll have a funeral in Port Huron, and there are going to be her precious moments, because she had a large collection of that. So do feel free to take one. Can't read my writing. One of her latest things that she loved doing, even in the nursing home, was sending and receiving cards. She sent like 15 to 20 cards a month, right, Cynthia?
At least.
Yes. And she loved getting them back.